We're talking some of the events that took place last weekend and some of the current issues happening in the world of sports. Today in the studios, I have my brother, my friend, African champion, whom I believe this year you'll be recontesting or you'll be handing over.
No, I'm still in contention, but I've graduated from intermediate to masters.
Oh, he's going to the masters.
Yeah.
That's Scrabbles.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's welcome Ajulo Chukwu Okagwe. You are highly welcome to
Thank you so
ABS
much.
Sports Plus.
Our sports fans, highly delighted to be here this morning.
All right. CAF and FIFA agrees on a new date for CAF 2025. It has been a very big, long fight between the European clubs and the CAF because of the Nations Cup that normally comes up during the beginning of the year, January, February, and this really has been hampering a lot of club activities. And now, CAF and the FIFA have reached a compromise and a very wonderful agreement that this could start happening in the mid of the year, that is between July and August. So, what's your take on this development?
Well, Mekweme, I begin to wonder why CAF would need to run to FIFA to ask FIFA to, let's say, augment the European season. Why would the European season augment itself to fit the CAF championship? Africa, we usually know that June, July, August is the peak of rainy season in most African countries. So now playing the African championship in that season, just because the European seasons are over, to me it doesn't make any sense. Let us have our calendar, let them have their calendar. By the time you now start shifting goalposts, you know they experimented with this thing in one of the Nations Cup edition where rain marred most of the matches. This is a calendar that has fixed fixtures for a duration of a period. When you now have games that could not be played because of rain-soaked stadiums, you don't have room for you to postpone matches.
Maybe what I think is two things, like you rightly said. You talked about why would they? The bulk of the players are all European players, and these are the people that pays their bills.
Yeah.
And most of the time it affects them because when a player gets injured, like have a serious injury, it affects the team when they go back. It has to take a lot of time and the team might start suffering. So, but I think if they have reached a compromise to say, okay, after the European season, that this should happen.
The Nations Cup is something that happens every 2 years.
Yes, then it's now pushed down because you talked about some of the stadiums that
of course
waterlogged. It's now pushed down to CAF to take critical look. Like Morocco is going to host, they should go around and look at the stadiums and know how to fit the ones that are going to be waterlogged.
Morocco actually, they are one of the arid parts of Africa.
So they need to fix it up.
Even if Morocco hosts, we have a splendid and seamless CAF championship come 2025. What happens when it comes to sub-Saharan Africa? The West Africa, just like we had in Cote d'Ivoire. You understand? What happens when it happens in this West African region? What happens when it happens in the East African region?
But definitely, I think CAF has looked into all these issues before agreeing with FIFA that, okay, let's strike a balance. I think they've done that.
To me, sincerely speaking, this striking of a balance is just to favor the European teams.
And which is not even a bad idea, because these are the people that pays the bills of the players. These are the people that foots the bill. You remember some of our players that got injured and they went back. It is still the club that pays them, that treats and takes the so they need their services.
We know we all need each other in this
That's why CAF and FIFA
let us stop shifting because we have done
this
this before and it didn't work out. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's going to work this time around.
We have experimented on this thing before and it didn't work out. I remember the Nations Cup that was hosted in June. I can't remember if it was Cameroon or so. Rain marred most of the matches.
You said
matches were fixed. Now, will you now be taking matches to around midnight just because you're trying to avoid rain? Or will you now invest in stadiums being built with roof covers? You understand?
Well, so it's another critical look, and but I believe that CAF and FIFA might have looked at it and
said it's doable
see
just because
it's doable.
it aligns with the European fixture and then the World Cup. If
Because-
we're talking about the World Cup, to me it's understandable. After all, what we had in Qatar 2022 was a whole lot different from what we are used to in other World Cups, just because of the weather. The World Cup was moved from the normal June, July down to November.
Oh, because of COVID. Or
Yeah,
because of
November.
COVID.
No, it was because of the weather.
No, you know, we had to move because of COVID.
No, I'm talking about the 2022
22
World Cup.
That's what I'm saying. It was
2022
moved because of COVID.
It was fixed.
No,
the
no.
World Cup happened when it's supposed to happen.
No, it didn't.
But it was
there was issues. If you remember when we played the last World Cup.
2022.
No.
Qatar 2022.
Before Qatar 2022.
Before Qatar 2022 was what is it called? Russia 2018. So there was nothing in the issue. So the 2022 was because of the weather. Because they said playing football in the Arabian Peninsula by that time of the year the weather will be too much for playing.
Well,
that was why you had ACs.
Ajolo, I think
stadiums.
we need to move because right now maybe our take we're not in the FIFA, neither are we in the CAF.
I don't like the twisting.
But that's what they have the compromise that has been reached, and let's see how it goes. All right, Super Eagles goalkeeper Mwabeli was on Sunday conferred a title by his community, Egbema, as the Ugo of Egbema Kingdom in Rivers State. They conferred a title to this young lad who has done well. And the governor of Rivers State also blessed him again with 20 million, just to make sure that their own son really did them proud. And now we can call him Stanley Nwabali Ugo Egbema. You know what Ugo means. So we really want to appreciate him for that, appreciate the people who gave him that, and that's a good one. CAF will be conducting the preliminary draw of CAF 2025 on Tuesday at the CAF headquarters in Egypt. As CAF is really doing everything within their reach to make sure there's no stone to be left, so they're going to be starting the preliminary draw between March 18 to 24, where the minor teams will start. They will start with them before the 44 teams who are well pronounced would join to join in the draw and start that. So starting early to arrange all these things, what do you think about it?
Well, let me start with saying that the last Nations Cup was quite impressive on the officiating aspect of it. Well, I'll give kudos to CAF, you understand, for nipping the bud in trying to make sure.
But why is it that there was no Nigerian referee in the?
Well, that is for NFF to look into and probably to see if there is a way they can really take our referees, you understand, for refresher courses abroad, and then probably attach them to some leagues abroad so that they can learn and then improve on the current refereeing techniques. So coming to CAF, trying to put its house in order, making sure that come 2025, the Nations Cup that is to be hosted by Morocco, that everything will be in place. There are no longer minnows in African football, as you could rightly see at the last Nations Cup. Teams like Mauritania pulling their weight, Angola and the rest of it all. So 2025, I expect it to be another showdown, because most of these teams that did perform at the last Nations Cup will come and tell you that, well, that wasn't a flash in the pan. So for every team that is going to be qualified for the next edition in Morocco, we definitely have a really tough job to do. And even say Nigeria, if we can take it a step further, because sincerely speaking, nobody even expected us to make it through that round of matches that we had based on the opponents that we faced. But like you always say, when you get your house in order, sometimes you never can say how far you go, and that's what football, the beauty of what football is always about.
Okay. All right, we're still talking sports on ABS Sports Plus this morning. Pesiro confirms Algeria interest. Jose Pesiro has been on the headline news because people are beginning, different nations are beginning to seek his hands to come and take over the helms of affairs of the football. Zamalek has been there. Algeria is there now. And Algeria is really doing everything possible to snatch him away from the Super Eagles. Jose Peseiro has become the beautiful bride now. So, what do you think concerning him going over to Algeria? Or do you still prefer him to continue with the Super Eagles team?
Well, sincerely speaking, like you rightly said, you're talking about me. I would prefer he tries his luck elsewhere. You don't work in a country whereby you begin to have salary reduction and the rest of it all, and then that synergy between you and your employee is no longer going well, and even your employer too. So, to me, as far as I know, Jose Peseiro should try his luck elsewhere and probably see if by going to Algeria or by going the route of club football with Zamalek would definitely allow him to win some trophy or laurels and stuff like that. So he should pick it up and then take it up. Because as far as I know in Nigeria, there is this feeling that you got us to the final, but you didn't win it. Even his job is not even guaranteed as far as things are in Nigeria. So it's better you jump from one ship and then catch a better ship.
But what do you think about his tactical prowess?
Tactical prowess, Jose Peseiro, I think to a certain extent, I think luck was really on our side more than we even explored or let's say implored Jose Peseiro's tactical onus, so to say. In the match against South Africa, the semi-final, there were areas where we were pinned down and then the South Africans were having a run, you understand? Same thing in the finals, as if the Ivorians had more impetus to win it. Having that near miss opportunity they had coming out from that group where they lost 2 matches and then qualifying by the virtue of Morocco winning their last group match. So to me, getting to that final when you never even expected to be there, I thought the Super Eagles would have done better. After all, you saw what happened after the match where Omero came up to say that the coach's tactics was what really failed them in the final. They were a little bit too defensive when there was no need to be that. So these are the areas where I think NFF should be looking inwards to see how best we can take Nigeria, the Super Eagles, and even other age cadres, you understand, to the next level. And I still maintain the fact that indigenous coaches are the best because they have more to lose, you understand, when they are coaching this country than a foreigner.
Oh, that's your take. You think that indigenous coaches can do better than...
You can invest in them, take them to refresher courses abroad, align them to some of these big-time club sites in Europe, Asia, and the rest of it all. And then
it's not about... there are 2 things I think that is much a concern in coaching. One, you must have an administrative acumen, too, because in administration you know how to handle players, handle their welfare and things. Then you must have the technicalities.
It doesn't necessarily...
These 2 things are what makes you a sound coach.
These things you're talking about, you understand? You can employ people that can fit into that bracket, you understand, and deliver that. That's why you see...
because in a club side, the coach is seriously in charge of everything, and these things are things that must be inside of you.
Yeah.
If you don't have these 2 things, then you know that definitely you're going to be having issues in your dressing room. You're going to be having issues. That's the truth. That's why you say when Mourinho, every time you always hear him having issues with the player. It goes down to the administrative aspect of it.
The buck stops at the doorstep of the coach on his table. But that doesn't mean that the coach works in total isolation from his team members. Because he has... Now, you employ a coach. A coach begins to look for the people that can make this job a lot easy for him. That's why when you employ a coach, the coach, based on the contract and the contract agreement, he begins to poach his trainer, the goalkeeper trainer, and the rest of his team. Most coaches have their team. And these are based on the impeccable records they've had elsewhere. So when you employ a coach...
No, in Nigeria, you know that when we employ coaches here, they only give him assistance. Because there are some countries you go to, you are not given that free hand to bring in your people. Now, if you don't have all these things personally...
That's what I said, based on the contract agreement. I said that. Now, if you now come to a country that doesn't want you to bring in your stuff, then you now need to work with what they have, which is applicable in this part of the world.
And now, if you yourself
That means
is
what
not
they are-
technically
that is
and
what-
administratively
what-
sound,
listen to
it
me.
becomes a problem.
What they are now asking for you is just your technical acumen and input. They bring in the players.
No, you are still going to be in charge of the players.
That's what I'm saying.
So
You
it's not
see-
technicality alone. You have to have this administrative
when the players
blood in you.
of course you have to have it.
That's what
but
I'm saying.
in order for you to have it, it depends on how you want it. European club side, even these European coaches do come with their team. You don't expect me to come and then, because I'm working for you in Nigeria and I can't get somebody from whichever part of, any person that I know that can deliver on the job. Your job is to make sure that you excel. That is what you're paying me for.
So your final take is that Jose Peseiro should
No,
try elsewhere.
He should try elsewhere. He should
So
try elsewhere.
Algeria should seriously come for him.
Probably Algeria, Zamalek, or wherever. He should try elsewhere.
All right, Jose Peseiro, well, we've just said our view, and he had just said his view.
That's my kind of
his
opinion.
view, and
because I'm still an advocate of indigenous coaches.
okay. All right, let's move on. Super Eagles defender Sanusi was seriously injured on Sunday, and it's going to take a very long while. In fact, he has been ruled out all through the season, and we want to wish him a quick recovery. And he's going to under this knife today for the Achilles tendon to be corrected. Sanusi, who was part of the silver medal winners of this AFCON, played for Porto on Sunday and got injured, a serious injury. But we pray that God will see him through. Get well soon, bro. Yes. Victor Osimhen now have a new coach because just yesterday a vote of no confidence was passed on Walter Mazzari, who came to took over from Rudi Garcia, and he couldn't live up to expectation, and he needs to be shown the exit door. Now, Napoli has a new coach. His deputy has been drafted in to take over. Francisco Cusana has been called in to fill in till the end of the season. Napoli on 9th position. The people who broke the record of 38 years, in fact 3 years, not winning the Scudetto, and now they are in the 9th position. What do you think caused that movement from up to bottom?
I think sometimes I think I will largely put most of the blame, you understand, to the players, sincerely speaking. To me, it seemed they overachieved last season, and then replicating that stance which they did, that superlative performance in which they were able to secure their first Scudetto in 33 years. Players seem to like overachieved and then decided to down tools.
But why not see from this angle? When Spalletti left,
Spalletti left on an agreement that he wasn't going to see this team to the next season.
Now, the question is, why didn't the club take our time to look for a suitable replacement?
So what makes the other coaches not suitable? Just because the result didn't go their way doesn't mean that they are not suitable.
What you could see?
Of course, because
definitely there must be somebody who understands the technicalities that has been put in place.
Yes.
The sides of the player, who knows how to handle it.
Are you forgetting that at the beginning of the season, most of these players were firing blanks?
That's what I'm saying.
So now when the player is firing blanks, so now do you put the blame on the coach?
The coach has to go to the drawing board. You saw Rudi Garcia started having problems with virtually all the players. That was why he was sacked.
That results were not forthcoming.
Yes.
So that is what I keep saying, that when players decide that they want to down tools, which is what happens in European football, cut across everywhere. Well, there is nothing any coach can do.
Okay.
All the players, the management can do is to look for who to
fire.
So
to you, the bulk of the problem is from the players.
Sincerely speaking.
Okay. So Victor Osimhen has a new coach now, and he's still.
Sometimes you begin to wonder: do these players they play to get the wrath of the management to sack the coach, or do they bet?
That is when they don't have, when they are not in the good terms with the coach.
To me,
it does happen.
I don't see any sense.
All right, Omeru says another Super Eagles player received death threats after the AFCON. And the person of our line, he was threatened, and we're still appealing to Nigerian fans to soft pedal. We were all angry, but we have to move on. So anybody sending threat message to players who have decided to come and play for their father's land, please should desist from such. It's not a good one. That's not, it doesn't show the spirit of football. A sportsman's spirit.
Sportsman's spirit.
Yes,
it doesn't show anything of such nature.
Yes, so please
and
we
it
must.
should be kicked against with
Yes.
everything in us.
Yes. All right, the last but not the least, the anticipated friendly game between Super Eagles and Argentina team will still go on, but we're still waiting for a new date. Immediately after the AFCON, there would have been a friendly match between the Super Eagles and the Argentinian team in Hong Kong. But that was a problem because they said Messi was called sometime to come and play and he didn't come. So the fans revolted and the game was cancelled that China is not going to host, because if the fans that were meant to come and watch say they are not coming because Messi disappointed them before, so they are not going to come. So the organizers have to cancel the game, but still say that friendly game will still go on. Maybe on a FIFA date when there's going to be
FIFA window.
FIFA window, then the match will still go on. And saying Nigerians to not to lose hope, the match will still go on. Now, let's just analyze before we leave. You are rooting for an indigenous coach to take over the affairs.
Yeah.
Now, if you were asked...
A team of indigenous coaches.
A team. Now, can you just give maybe 2 names you think would lead this, that should be given the affairs of the team?
Well, in my own opinion, unequivocally and categorically, based on achievements in other climes, I think Emmanuel Amunike has what it takes to be the chief coach of the Super Eagles, and then ably assisted by Finidi George, you understand? And then on the technical director's part or department, people like Austin Eguavon can be there to help. And then if management of football, we have one of the best, let's say, technical manager of a Nigerian club side in the person of Kanu Nwankwo. These are players that they command respect within the shores of this country and outside the shores of this country where they are played for. And their antecedents over years is there for us to see. Amunike qualified Tanzania on a rounded team to appear in a Nations Cup. You understand? And then did so well with the under-17 team. You know,
it's always quite a different thing that you handle. You are good with juvenile team.
It's harder. It's harder.
That's what. No. There are people who have the let me say the calling with younger team than handling a senior team.
Ask any coach. They will tell
I said it's harder. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, it is
no.
harder.
It's going to be more difficult handling bigger players, because if you don't have that grace to handle bigger players, it becomes a problem.
Sincerely speaking, what a player needs, irrespective of what you're earning, is respect and discipline. Once you have respect and discipline instilled in you as a player, there is no place you can go to excelling in your chosen sport. So it's not all about if some players are too big-headed that they can't listen to their managers just because of what they are earning. To me, I don't subscribe to that. A player that feels he's earning $1 billion a week definitely doesn't merit to be in a team if you can't take instructions from your coach that earns 10 shillings. Because we are talking about whose responsibility is it. Yours is to play, and yours is to take responsibility from the coaching crew. So if you bring this issue of players are sometimes insubordinative and then disrespectful, that player can go...
Just park the player one side.
Just park the player one side, which we've seen lots of club sides do with megastars. And that is the way to go about it, because you need to, first of all, instill discipline in order for you to be successful in whichever chosen venture.
All right. Okay, I think this is where we'll be drawing the curtain close on ABS Sports Plus this morning, this beautiful Tuesday. Remember that some games are going to be coming up today. Porto is going to be playing against Arsenal today,
Yeah.
and that I guess is going to be a star match to watch. You could see how Arsenal is being rejuvenated.
Yeah,
and
they are doing
well.
splendid. They are doing
Beautiful.
splendid. I
Beautiful.
think the wheels coming off of last season probably has taught them a whole lot. You can see them play with grit and determination. You understand? Winning matches convincingly. You understand? And I just hope that they sustain the tempo, because we are long overdue to see some other team really topple Man City's dominance in the Premiership.
It's been a long time they touched the Premiership, so let's believe maybe luck will shine on them this time around and see how they're going to go. All right, on this way we'll draw the curtain close on the ABS Sports Plus. Next week, Tuesday, we'll come with more exciting stories. Ajulo, thank you for being part of
It's always my pleasure to be here to talk sports and live sports.
All right. My name is Still Ekweme Daniel. See you next week, Tuesday.